Hi, I'm R Blakeman, and the disease I chose for the virus's bacteria and disease portfolio is leprosy. What causes the disease? Leprosy is caused by the bacteria Mycobacterium leprae. The bacteria takes a long time to grow, so once you're infected, you might not have symptoms until 3 or 5 years after being infected, and sometimes it can even take decades until you're showing symptoms. What are the symptoms of the disease, and can it be treated? The symptoms of leprosy are severe, disfiguring sores. Leprosy causes nerve damage in arms, legs, feet, hands, the front portion of the eyes, like around here, and leprosy causes nerve damage in the upper respiratory passages. Is there a cure for leprosy? Yes. In the past 20 years, more than 14 million people have been cured of leprosy. And they've been cured for free. The World Health Organization offers free treatment to all people with leprosy. What is the history of the disease? Leprosy was discovered in 1873 by the scientist G.H.A. Hansen. Hansen identified the germ under his microscope. Everyone assumed leprosy was a curse put on them by God, or leprosy was something hereditary, but it wasn't. It's a germ. In my research, I found that there is no definite origin of leprosy, but many people believe it originated in East Africa or India. How common is the disease, and who is at risk for getting it? Leprosy used to be much more prominent a while back, or in the late 1800s and the early 1900s. But in the mid-1900s, there were treatments for people to be prevented from getting leprosy, and there were also treatments for people to be cured of leprosy. The only people at risk for getting leprosy in this day and age are people who are in contact with a severely affected leprosy victim, and they're only at risk if they are in contact with the leper's mouth or nose droplets. Children are more at risk at getting leprosy than adults are. An interesting fact about leprosy is that even in this day and age, there are still people who don't know that leprosy is not a highly contagious disease. And because of that, because of their lack of knowledge, there are still colonies of lepers today. In those colonies, they acquired their own currency because they and other people believed that if they were to give someone $1, the leprosy virus would transfer through the dollar onto the person taking the dollar. And so by giving someone like the currency from that area of the world, if you were affected by leprosy and you gave them that $1, people believed that leprosy was being transferred through the dollar. So they created their own currency, which is a token system. I didn't do too much research on it just because it was kind of veering away from the topic a bit. It was very interesting researching leprosy, and I chose it because I went through the big list of topics we had. I went through every single one to see which one I would be most interested in. And I've done research on my own of diseases. I did research last year on the bubonic plague, and I didn't want to do that since I already knew about it. So I decided I would do leprosy because I knew nothing about leprosy. I hope you enjoyed my presentation, and thank you for listening.